Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast. Today we're here with no one. um, all the other co-hosts of yours is actually busy today, and believe it or not, they have their own life too, and I can't. They can't be here all the time. Highways in Wisconsin, snowboarding today. Super fun. Uh, so happy to get an invite to that. I'm kidding. But yeah, Ronan's busy with fam, and Abe has some studying to do. So I guess it's just me. I'm that unemployed friend on a Saturday. Today is Saturday. Well, it's actually Sunday now. It's 1:00 in the morning, Sunday. Fun fact: I actually have to re-record this podcast because I forgot to hit this. Actually, I forgot to hit play. I was sitting at the kitchen table, and but it was a good run. Actually, I know exactly what I'm talking about now. I was rambling a lot in the other podcast. I'm pretty stoked that I don't have to post that one. But Happy New Year, huh? Today's the 4th, January 4th. Happy New Year to you guys and to everyone who is new here. Hi, welcome to Keeping It 20s. I'm your host today, and my name's Kongwin. I am your host for this podcast, for this episode, and usually we have 4 co-hosts, me included, me and 3 other guys, 3 other buddies of mine, and unfortunately they can't be here, so I'm here to serve your visuals and your ears. If you're listening to this in the car or something on Spotify, hi, I'm currently sitting in my living room here. You've seen this scene before, but let's get straight into it, huh? 2025, big year. Hopefully it's a big year for you too. It will be a big year for me. And I'd like to talk to you guys about a little bit about why it's gonna be a big year. First of all, I'm starting my business. Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I want to start. Not I want, but I am starting a clothing business. Believe it or not, I'm not really a fashion guy, honestly. But I want to create a piece of something that will remind me of myself and where I came from and the community that I'm in, the Vietnamese community, the Vietnamese, childhood memories that I got a chance to live through, and I'm forever grateful. I want to make something about that, and hopefully a lot of people can relate to, because as a Vietnamese Asian immigrant, like I wasn't wealthy in Vietnam. My family wasn't struggling per se, but we weren't wealthy. We weren't rich either. We were just literally an average home. And we're so much better off now in the States because we took a chance to move here. We had a chance to move here. And, we have a little house that we live in, and I'm going to college, and my parents are great. They're healthy, and I'm healthy. So I really super grateful for the opportunities I have here. And, but again, once in a while I sit and I think of how far I've been, all the things I've done, all the smells that I kind of miss sometimes, and all the visual scenes. Like I usually watch the TV. I just put up like one of the districts in Vietnam, like the neighborhood. Maybe not the neighborhood where I actually lived, not the actual neighborhood, but like the big kind of like popular cities and areas in the neighborhood nearby the district I lived in. I lived in Quận Tân Bình, right? So 24 Lộc Vinh, phường 6, quận Tân Bình is my my mom's family side house address, my grandparents' home, and my aunt. Love my aunt, my auntie, Bakmai. If you're listening to this, I love you and I miss you a lot, and I'm grateful for you for raising me the way I am for 14 years. And then Chị Hun, if you're listening to this, Chị Hun, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't want to switch to Vietnamese and, you know, speak in Vietnamese, but chị Hân, nếu mà chị Hân đang nghe cái podcast này thì I love you and I miss you too, and I hope you're doing well. She's my cousin, probably my closest cousin. Hopefully she's listening to this. I don't know if she listens to these podcasts. I don't even tell my family that I have a podcast, or like I do a podcast with my friends. So I don't even know they know this exists. But anyhow, Chị Hun's one of my favorite people and my favorite role model, and Chị Hun is somebody that I really want. I don't know how to say this without making it slightly weird, but Chị Hun has all the good qualities and traits that I look for in a girlfriend or in a partner. Hardworking, family oriented, loving, caring, good with kids. And my girlfriend have all that traits. And I don't like being publicly saying it here. I'm sorry. Maybe I should maybe you should blur it out or cut it out. But, my girlfriend has all the qualities and traits that Chị Hun has. And she reminds me a lot of her. I don't know how to say this without making it like slightly weird. But I'm saying like personality wise. Again, goal-oriented, family-oriented, very kind, caring. Anyhow. Happy New Year. Yep. Sorry. Got sidetracked, but just glazing my girlfriend. Anyway, Happy New Year. New Year resolutions. This year I have a lot, maybe not a lot, but a couple habits and things that I want to do differently and I want to implement in my life. Number one, journaling. I started journaling for the past 4 days. I haven't journaled today. Well, yesterday, because today is Sunday now. I haven't journaled yet, but I have 2 journals. One journal I have for myself, right? Like health habits, what I'm thinking mentally, how I'm doing, anything else. And then I have another journal for business, or I like to say it like anything money related. So if it makes me money, or I lose money, or I could potentially make money, or anything about money or business related, strictly business, for that journal. And I think I was talking about my business earlier. I'm sorry, clothing. But yeah, back to it. I want to honor my childhood. I want to honor the place where I came from and all the values I've gained. And I think a lot of Vietnamese, specifically people that, didn't grow up wealthy, didn't grow up well off, and they had just a normal childhood in Vietnam, they can relate to a lot of that. And I hope to bring some nostalgic values to their day-to-day lives, to something that they look at and they're like, yeah, I remember that time. It's a fun, innocent, happy memories. So that's all I have right now. I have a little bit more, but I don't want to talk all about it. So we'll see. I love to, what do you guys think about that? Let me know if you think it's chill. I've talked to my girlfriend about this. I've talked to Highway kinda. I haven't talked to anyone else, but I think it's a cool idea, niche. Maybe it's not niche. I don't know. I haven't done the research. But again, I don't know. That's the beauty of it. I don't know, no idea what I'm doing, but I will do it anyway. And it's scary sometimes. Like, of course I don't have a lot of money. I'm a broke college student, but I want to start building something that my philosophy, that follow my principles is I do it, I like it, I wear it, or I use it, and I want other to feel what I feel, to hopefully relate to my experience. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, journaling. Sorry, journaling. So, yep, journaling is one of my goals, to be consistent with journaling. On the days that I don't even want to journal, I'll write something down. I'll write down that I don't want to journal today, but I'll journal anyway, And yeah. That's number one. Number two. What is number two? Making money. I want to save more. I want to make more. I want to save more, and more like make more, because if I make more money, then I could save more without the mental toll of I don't have enough to spend, or more money, more problems, but it makes your life a little easier, I think. And if somebody says money doesn't bring me happiness, doesn't bring them, money isn't happiness, bro, just transfer me to money. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend sent me that meme the other day. But like, money does make you less stressed, and it's indirectly influence your happiness. You can buy things, or maybe it's not materialistic thing, but you can have a nice dinner with your family if you got money. If you can put gas into your parents' car, you can pay the electricity bill. You can pay bills without having to worry about shit. I don't know if I have enough money for next month's bill. And you're less stressed, and you have a decent, you the barrier of entry to have a happier and more stress-free and whatever positive things, life, or however you view money, will like, I mean, you could be happy broke, you could be happy with have money, so why choose you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, and I'm not starting the business to make money. I'm starting the business to make something for myself. I want to have something going on for myself that, again, dude, remind me of who I am, where I came from. And if making money is part of it, is a byproduct of it, then great. I'm not complaining. And I definitely going to use the money to make more quality products so that I feel better about it. I feel better promoting it to other people, and other people will like it more. And just reinvesting into and hopefully it makes it something bigger than just a shirt or a hoodie. It's, maybe I can build a whole community of people that, immigrated from Vietnam or immigrated from any Asian country and had the same lifestyle. And speaking of lifestyle, I had a talk with my girlfriend not recently, but sometime in the past, about how we grew up, and not herself, but her sister, who I admire very much, and who is, smart and hardworking, and she grew up, in which she reminds me of my cousin again, Chị Hun. But she grew up in Thailand, and I like, there are things in her childhood that I experienced the same. Like some songs, like "Take Me to Your Heart" by Michael Learns to Rock. Anybody knows that? Like, But these, like, I know it. My girlfriend knows it. Kathy probably knows it. But there's like these very ordinary childhood things in these Asian countries that we kind of live on the same boats. But Chinese, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, we all kind of share a lot of similarity. So I hope to bring something to life that's like my mental child that I put a lot of effort in. And yeah, like in starting a business, dude, you probably work so much more having a business compared to your fucking regular job. You know what I'm saying? Like you're more stressed out, you more finicky of anything you do, you more whatever. Like it's not easy, and it's not like you're gonna start a business and you're gonna fucking get rich immediately. No, dude, you probably get poorer. You probably got more broke. Until it takes off, and then that's a different story for a different time, but that's more like getting ahead of myself. But anyhow, yeah, so that's another thing I want to do this year. And what else do I want to do this year? I want to hit the gym more regularly. I want to take my health more seriously. I want to see my six packs. How about that? I am currently 200 pounds, or fluctuating 190s, high 190s, and like 205, low 200. Dude, especially, I mean, I'm definitely more than 200 now because we had Christmas and we had New Year's and everything. Dude, I ate so much shit past couple weeks. So I just hit the gym today. I didn't weigh in. I'll weigh in tomorrow morning. But new gym. I started a new gym membership at this gym, 24 hours. Lovely gym, small, clean space, well equipped. One thing is missing that I hate is they don't have a chest supported row machine. Like if you know me, I mean, if you didn't know, I personally don't like to row or do anything row movements without having my chest supported, right? Especially it's like a horizontal row like this. If it's like up and down, like a lat pull down, that's fine because my knees are my supporting like device, right? But if it's like a row, I don't want the regular row where you put your feet up, right? Like the thing is, even if you're bracing with your feet, your arm is connected at your shoulder, and you have the length of your shoulder to your hip, where you sit, where that little length is a moment. There is a moment arm there. I think that's what it's called. There is a torque applied, like you're bracing that way, right? But you're pulling up here. So you want to keep upright to hit the right angle at your back. Your lower back will be the main driver to keep yourself upright. But if you have a chest supported, you don't need your lower back, Your chest will be the one that create that counter force. So there's one thing I hate, but therefore I started a new exercise called the incline dumbbell row, right? So you just lay on the incline bench and then you row with dumbbells. And I mean, it's a really new it's not really new, but I just never do it, and now I just start doing it. So it's probably going to take me a while to get used to the movements. Like I'm not really pulling. I rode 30, like 25, 30 pounds just so I can just feel the technique and feel the format and feel like adjustment to know my perfect setup of position. It's not really probably not my real weight I'm working with. Probably, I don't know, 50s. But I need to get used to the movement first, and I need to feel safe and feel good with the position before I actually go up in weights. Because and it applies to anything else, especially beginners, which is a perfect gateway to New Year's resolution. If you are somebody who is looking to start your gym or fitness or health and wellness journey this year, do it, dude. Like, go for it. Training. And if you have a question, I mean, me, Highway, Ronan, Abe, we're all gym goers. Like, Highway's big as fuck. Like, he's really strong. Like, whatever I do, he does like 1.5 more than that. He's strong as fuck. And yeah, we all can give fitness advice. I was hoping to have a whole podcast talking about training, and especially training with everyone here. But I'll give my fair take right now. Training, if you're new, start training. Please do. Like, if you have any questions, leave us a comment, follow us. We'll definitely push out an episode talking about training specifically. But my advice is start slow, right? I've been going to the gym for the past, I don't know, 3-4 years. I have a decent amount of muscles, I like to think. And I think I generally train pretty smart. Like, I don't ego lift. Like, that's the thing. If you're starting out, leave your ego at the door when you go to the gym. Leave your ego at the door. Focus on the form. If you don't know the exercise, which in this case you probably don't because you just started out, take it slow. You know, like, focus on the form, the technique, and then perfect those things before you think about going in weight. Like, because if you don't have the form down and you're going up in weight, you're just fucking setting yourself up for injuries. Like, you're risking a lot of injuries. And it's bad for your joints. Like, dude. And nobody cares. Like, yeah. But focus on the form. And if you don't know what good forms look like, I would recommend some fitness YouTubers and like creators. I recommend is Ryan Jewers, I think. Ryan Jewers on TikTok. JPG coaching, JBG, bro, he's the god. And then Jeff Nippert. Look up Jeff Nippert. And then Sean Nelwanji. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your last name, Sean, but he's probably my favorite. But yeah, like, you know, start on the form. The biggest thing is don't, like, I can, some of the tips that I like to give for forms of, like, say benching, anything chest pressing. Do not ever flare your elbow too much, like, but to keep your elbow to the side. Like, when you work your chest or shoulder too, when you do shoulder press, don't flare out. Like, if you look at me sideways, don't do that, but like tuck it in. So you go in this motion. It's safer for your shoulders, and it gets your shoulders in the less risky positions. But anyhow, train hard, train with intensity. Don't do fucking 3 sets of 14, 13 reps. That's way too much volume. If you're just starting out, you'll get sore as shit. So, but if you're starting out, learn the exercise, perfect the technique, stick to it for a while, and decide whether or not you like the exercise or not. And if you don't, then, you know, switch out for another exercise. And also, you don't need 10 different variations of the same bicep curls to achieve the same goal. If your goal is to build muscle, stick to the basics. Again, that's another tip I want to give. Stick to the basics. Train hard, train with enough volume, and rest and diet. I think I should talk about diet later if we have time. It's 25 minutes now. I don't want to keep this podcast way too long because it actually, but actually feels kind of weird talking by myself to the screen over there. And hopefully you guys are behind this, like, there's nobody here behind the camera, but you guys will listen or watch this later. And but it feels weird, so I want to keep it slightly short and concise. And because when the other guys are there, right, I can bounce off of their ideas on what they're talking about to continue the conversation, but I can't. So nobody's here. I guess I can kind of bounce off of my idea what I'm talking about, but then I'm gonna go on a whole rampage of just random shit. But yeah, training. If you're looking to start your fitness or your gym journey, leave us a comment. Comment gym, comment. I don't know. Comment whatever your story, your journey, why you want to get started. I think that's another thing that's not a lot of people talk about when it comes to like starting a new journey, starting a new thing. It's the mindset, and I can attest to this because I made a transformation, right? I was fat as fuck back in junior year of high school. My whole life up to junior year, up until April 25th, 2020, COVID, 2021, 2020, 2021. I can't remember, but I was still working at Goodwill. I was 210 pounds, super fat. I'm sorry, but I carry a lot of fat on me, carry a lot of body fat, carry little to zero muscles. I can't even do a push up, not even knee push ups. Like, I can't. So I lost weight, I lost fat. I did lose some muscle. Maybe I didn't even have muscles to begin with to lose, but I lost a lot of fat. So I cut down to my lightest was 178. That was in senior year of high school. Like, I remember that day. Like, I just stepped on a scale. It was like 178, and I was like, dude, what have I done? But that's like 6, 7, 8 months into the journey, right? That's more like a year in, honestly, because I did cut very fast, not very fast, but the 180 is like my first milestone, like checkpoint, where I kind of plateaued. So 210 to like 180, and I stay there for a long time, I remember. But from 210 to 180, that was like 7 months, 6, 7 months. But when I was eating, I tracked every single calories I put in my mouth. Sorry, pause. Tracked every single thing I ate, and I worked out a lot. So yeah, and then I built up from there. Especially starting college, bro. Dude, I'm 200 pounds now, and I have a lot of muscle relatively compared to myself. Speak of comparison. Do not compare yourself. If you're starting out, never compare yourself to anyone in the gym. Like, whether or not they look like they've lifted for a while, or maybe they just start like you. Who cares? Nobody knows. And like, it's your chapter 1. You're starting out on chapter 1, and you never know if you're comparing yourself to somebody who's on their chapter 30. They might not look like they lived for a long time. Maybe they just got off of an injury. Maybe they jacked as fuck and they just got skinny. They lost all their shit because they got an injury. They can't eat. They can't train. Who knows? But that's not the point. The point is, nobody cares. You is you versus you yesterday. You go in the gym, you get a little bit better every day. Maybe it's technique. Maybe you did the form good. Maybe you feel better. You feel more secure of the weight you're doing. You feel more safe doing it. Or maybe you do an extra rep. But you progress, and it's yourself. It's your journey, and it does you nothing but potential harm if you compare yourself to anything. Because you don't know the story. That's it. So leave your ego at the door. Focus on yourself. Focus on your journey, because you want to be a better you, right? You want to live your life with this new lifestyle and a new mindset, new perspective. And this is a lifestyle change that you're choosing to make, right? They're not going to live the benefit that you get from doing this is you will be the one that experience those benefits, not them, just you, right? Everything's about you. And it's always, I personally think it's always okay to put yourself first, because you cannot fill from an empty cup. Like, if you can't even take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. If you're not even mentally okay and mentally ready to take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of other people? You know, if you're being shitty and negative to yourself all the time, how are you expecting yourself to be not negative and shitty to other people? You know, you can't, even if you can, it's not sustainable, because you will run out of juice eventually. You don't have the energy. You don't fill yourself up. You don't keep filling yourself up before you fill it to someone else's cup. So again, you cannot fill from an empty cup. Take care of yourself this year. Focus on yourself. Because the more you focus on yourself, the better you are, the more you have to give. You know, when you get better, everyone else around you will get better. You will more likely to influence other around you to get better, and you will get better from that, and everything's gonna get better, right? And a quote that I use a lot, I think about a lot, is consistently good is better than occasionally great. And this quote I heard from Michael Smoke, which is a host of another podcast called the Higher Up Wellness Podcast. I highly recommend you checking him out. He changed my life a lot, especially in the recent months of starting my junior year of college, which is, tips and tricks and health and wellness, hence the name. But yeah, consistently good is better than occasionally great. If you show up every day for a year, maybe not even every day, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. What is that? 5 divided by 7? Shit. That's what, 70%. More than 70%, at least 70%. And if you do Monday to Friday for a whole year, you can leave 2 days to do whatever you want. That's 70% of progress made in a year. That's 70 more times than 0% progress, bruh. Like, just even if on the days that you feel like you only have 10% to give, but you gave all that 10%, you gave your whole 100% for that day, and that's okay. Next day you move on with your life like usual, and maybe you'll be able to get more the day after and the day after. All right. So again, take care of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. And it's hard. It's okay to, like, whenever you feel hard, whenever you feel difficulty, remind yourself that it's okay to feel like this. This is what hard feels like. Again, relating to the other podcast I just recommended you. Maybe you're supposed to feel like this because you're doing hard things, right? And it's okay to feel this way. And I think it's almost even comforting to talk to yourself like that. Another point is talk to yourself positively. Like, if you talk to yourself negatively and you have negative thoughts, you're doing nothing good to yourself, which in turn indirectly influence the effect you have on other people. Talk to yourself positively. Yeah, it's okay to feel hard. I'm sorry. It's okay to feel like this, difficulty. This is what hard feels like. Yeah. And don't give up. Show up. Just show up. And everything will be in place. Like, just believe in yourself. Show up. Show up for yourself. And if you can't even show up for yourself, you can't show up for other people. So show up for yourself first. Love yourself the way you love other people. Yes. Did I miss anything for the last podcast? There's a Lego rose that I put it on my kitchen table. I don't know if you can see it from here. Maybe not. But yeah, whatever. Anyhow, Happy New Year to you and to all the listeners. If you're listening to this in your car, on the way home, or to work, or podcast, Spotify podcast, I love you. Have a good one. Have a good day. If you're watching on YouTube, that's awesome. Give us a subscribe, give us a follow, and like the podcast, like the episode. If you like solo episodes like these, give us a comment. Let us know. Because I really do think this is a good way to get to know the host. Like, because we have 4 hosts, right? I think each of us should take on a solo podcast to talk about whatever, like our area of expertise or whatever that is we have in mind that we want to share to you guys. Is yeah, it's a decent way to learn about your hosts and to get over that, I mean, awkwardness, I guess, of talking, and then which helps. Anyhow, I don't want to start rambling here, but okay, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next week's episode. Bye.